important for our students, our parents, our stakeholders, and staff of Holy Name University. So this afternoon we have in focus Father Patricio de los Reyes, SVD, on the hot seat this afternoon, and we will be having some conversations with him to share with you information about him, his personal life, and his current role in Holy Name University. Hi, Father. Can you hear me? Father Pat, can you hear me?
Hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, I can hear
very
you.
Faint.
I am very faint to you. I can hear you, Father, very loud and clear. I can hear you. You're very loud and clear from my end.
You can hear me?
Yes, very, very well.
All right.
Can you hear me? Yes? You're very loud and clear from my end. Anyway, so good afternoon again, once again, to our avid fans, our viewers in Facebook Live. Synchronously, we have on the hot seat, Father Patricio de los Reyes, SVD, who is a newcomer to Holy Name University. So, Father, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you know, I just have to strain my ears.
Oh, okay. I'll start with you can talk now. I'd like to deep dive into conversations with you. Tell us about you.
About me. So I have to tell you about me. Well,
yes. About you, your education, your personal life, and your, most importantly, your missionary journey.
Okay, so I will start with the time when I came back to the Philippines. I was in Africa for 25 years as a religious missionary. I came back to the Philippines in 2008. That was after 25 years in Africa, in Botswana, Southern Africa. The reason why I came back was I almost died there because somebody wanted to kill me.
Is that right?
Was, yeah, using this machete. He was hacking me almost to death. I had 7 fractures in my skull and 5 blood clots in my brain. But with God's grace, I survived. So that after 3 years, that was in 2005, and after 3 years, I came back to the Philippines. But I joined the Society of the Divine Word after high school in 1973, and I was ordained in 1982. To make the story short, I was ordained in 1982 and immediately was sent to Africa and lived there for 25 years. So now, when I came back to the Philippines, I started as the University Chaplain of San Carlos, University of San Carlos in Cebu, and at the same time as Director of Alumni Affairs, Scholarships and Job Placement. And then after that, after 3 years, I was transferred to Tacloban, and I was again chaplain of the school, Liceo del Verbo Divino, and later on, after 5 years in school, I was assigned as the chaplain of Divine Word Hospital, still in Tacloban. And then after that, just last year in October, I came to Tagbilaran, Bohol, and I don't know how long will I stay here. If I stayed for 25 years in Africa, I might stay another 25 years in Bohol. We don't know. So, but anyway, I'm here as what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it for the moment, is my work as the landscape manager, making the whole university grounds beautiful and green and clean. Hopefully, it will be able to maintain the cleanliness and the greenness and contribute to the environmental development of HNU. You know that. So, well, as far as my family is concerned, um, I was born, first of all, so I was born in July 14, 1956, as the fourth child. We are seven all in all. I have six siblings, and um, my parents are both deceased already. Um, and I have another sibling. My sister, the one next to me, actually died here in Talibon, in Bohol, when we were waiting. The next day was the ordination of our nephew. He is now the chancellor of Talibon diocese, and but the day before, my sister died of a heart attack because of diabetes. Um, so Taliban is also quite um, memorable to me, um, because it was not only the ordination of my nephew, but my sister died there.
This is the mother of the priest, father? The mother was, is the sister is the mother of the priest?
This is my mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah. The father of Father Bonire Rusios was my cousin, my first degree cousin. So
Okay.
his lolo and my mother were, and I came in October here, and my nephew was already chancellor there, and yet we haven't seen each other yet. It's already almost October 2021.
Almost a year.
Yeah, he is too busy, you know, and I'm just waiting for him not to become busy to visit me here. But at least I have one family here. Although I was told that we have actually some relatives here in Bohol. My mother's side, the Kapilitan, people with the Kapilitan surname. And
who knows, you will
so,
find them here. Who
well, I
knows,
hope I'll
you will
find
find
some.
them through this event today.
So I hope I'll find some of my relatives here. Um, so what else to say about myself, really? There's nothing much except that I'm enjoying my work here now in
Wow.
HNU, because I love taking care of plants and planting and whatever, and I love that kind of work. But I was also given by the president, Father Lero, the work as coordinator for alumni affairs, scholarships, and job placement.
Okay.
So that's
hold the thought, because we'll go into that deeper later. But for now, I like just to quickly ask you the highlights, the high moments, the challenges of your missionary work, particularly in Africa.
what is that?
The highlights, the high moments, challenges, experiences, valuable experiences of your missionary work in Africa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what I really, um, when I first arrived in Botswana, Southern Africa, um, it was a totally different world for me. The vegetation was dry, and there it seems that everything growing even acacia has thorns in Africa. Everything, the weeds have thorns, and maybe that's the way they're surviving with under the heat of the
Adaptation.
sun. You know, and the desert. It's a desert. Um, 1/3 of um, Botswana is Kalahari Desert. It was there that this. I don't know if you have seen that movie. The gods must be crazy.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, the
many people have seen that. Yes,
the Coca-Cola bottle that fell
Coca-Cola
from
bottle. Yes,
yes.
it was they had the shooting there in the Kalahari Desert. I wasn't there, of course, Um, it was just them. But anyway, um, it was a different world for me because it's a desert place, Botswana. And but then one thing was people's life, the life probably because there's really nothing much. You rocks and that probably is making things simple for people. There's nothing much there, but then what kind of really it's what every year it's over the rains. Many come out of the desert, the desert with different colors. Um, and another highlight for me in my thing. At the beginning, I did not for 1 year their language practice speaking. People could not understand me, and so it was a bit kind of. I would cry in the evening, and I would say to God, "Please, I cannot understand." Later on, able to manage already and speaking their language already. Um, until I was asked to go to another country, which is in Zambia, and I had to learn another African language. And so I have two African languages. But it was, at the time, I was still young, so it was okay to learn another language. So learning the language was a challenge for me. And learning Boholano is also
Learning
no,
back.
learning Bolano is nothing because that's the way uh, the Bolanos talk. It's the way we talk in southern. So it's there's no difference at all. So and the people, what I really love very much, the people in Africa, they're so friendly and hospitable people. They may not have so much to offer as far as material things. They are very, very hospitable and friendly people. Um, so easy for me to have friends in Africa and local friends, local Africans. Um, there are many Filipinos there. They were far from me, from my mission station. Um, so I had more African friends there, really, and I miss them so much.
The work there, Father, was mostly parish work. Was it?
Yes, I was mostly in the mission, in the periphery of the desert, and um, I was in a mission that was uh, really a big barrio, a big village, 10 kilometers radius. Um, and that was another highlight in my mission work because I would walk from one house to another to visit all the uh, everybody in that village. And let's imagine 10 kilometers radius and have to walk around almost every day just to see the people and to meet them and to to invite them to our catechism classes. At the beginning, I had only three Catholics, um, um, and later on, um, the group grown had grown, and when I left after almost 3 years, um, the priest who had
Take
um,
over.
to follow after me had to build a church already, construct a church because there were so many people already. So I was so happy about that, that I was part in uh, making Catholics there. And then I went to Zambia, went to another village there, um, near the famous Victoria Falls, and it was another kind of enjoyable time for me. And um, and then of course I worked there also. Not after a few years, then in South, I was asked by the General Superior to start it, to begin the formation program. So that's one of the things that I was able to do there. Apart from making Catholics, I also was part in the mission of um, training young Africans to become religious priests. And, and then, of course, I became uh, in for 6 years, 2 terms. That was the time that I was attacked and hacked almost to death. That my second term. And so after that, um, I was already afraid of the Africans.
Was this like a
I couldn't
random
sleep
attack?
much.
Was this like
Yeah,
a random attack?
I couldn't sleep much anymore. That I decided after I finished my second term as provincial superior, and I decided to come back to the Philippines. Although I was given the choice or choices, the general superior told me, "You just tell me where you want to go, to Germany, to the US, or there's nowhere I would like to go. I would just like to go home." And so I came back in 2008. And at that time, the provincial superior here was Father Heinz Kuluki. So I went to Cebu, and then he asked me to rest for a while. So in 2009, April, I started working in the University of San Carlos. So that is it. And so my mission continues until today here in Bohol. And
Hey. So welcome to Bohol. I'd like to go deeper into that. What was the special thing that you did to invite the many Catholics to your church in the first parish? Were you like today? I played the songs. Were you like singing to them also, or what was the ministry or the mission work like?
inviting the people,
Yes, in the first parish.
Catholicism was so easy actually. People were so friendly and open. You can talk to a group of Africans about God for an hour or so, and they would still be there listening to you. And that's why we have long masses there. We can have 2 hour masses, or during special occasions, we would have 4 hours of mass because people would enjoy that. And that is why it was so easy. People were very much open to know God and to know Jesus.
Before you were there, before you went there, what was their religion?
Yes, they most of them, there were already Christians, but different churches. There was, imagine at that time when I was there in that village alone, um, um, there were already 280 churches, different Christian churches, and these were the registered ones. But one church can have only 10 members, and so it was so easy to, yeah.
To invite them.
And to my companions, yeah, if I wanted to have more money, I would have a church, my own, and people would contribute to that, and I will have. So, but anyway, it was interesting that it was so easy for some of them to, how do you call that, create or establish their own churches. But they were Christian churches because they kind of, those who founded them were Christians. Were some were even were Catholics and Anglicans and born again Christians, and they had their own churches. But people were so open to religion. to faith and to God. And so it was easy for me to, and what was difficult was the heat of the sun, and I have to walk from uh, one house to another. But to go there, it was something like us, we welcome foreigners. And since I was a foreigner to them, and so they also welcomed me. They wanted to befriend foreigners all the time. So, it was really a
Very,
good experience for me.
very, very interesting. Was this a time when this was already when the political situation in in that country, was it already like stable or
Ah, yes. In Botswana itself, the political situation was very, very good. Um, they had parliamentary government, and their first president as a republic of Botswana was their king, their paramount king, and he was educated in England, and he married an English woman, and so kind of his family was a mixture of English and African cultures. Um, but then he was so honest and very honest man, and at that time, most of the officials in the government were really honest people. They had plenty of money, and everything was always kind of um, used, all the money used for the people. You can actually ask for a grant from the government for 1 million, uh, their own money, pula, and being a grant, even if you cannot pay, they would not ask you to pay because they had a lot of money anyway. And I think they still have because of the diamond mines, many diamond mines in
right?
Botswana. But before that, they were the protectorate of England, of UK. So they were under the English rule for some years, and then they got their independence after some years. And that was when I arrived, they were already independent.
Okay,
The English government was not there anymore. But then the neighboring country, South Africa, still had the apartheid,
right.
the racial discrimination, division of people of different skin color. I even had an experience of being discriminated because of my
Other
skin, the color
color,
of my skin. I went to South Africa to attend a uh, ecumenical congress for one week, and I went to the mall to buy something. But in order to buy something, I had to exchange my money from US dollars to South African rands. I entered the bank and I was told by the guard, "You cannot enter. You're not allowed here. This is only for the whites." And then I went to another bank, and the bank was only for the blacks.
and you were
And
not black
somebody told
enough.
me,
You were
"Well,
not white enough.
you can find a bank that would accept you." I found it to accept me. There were colors there. There was no Filipino though, but different colors, and it was an experience also um, to experience that apartheid, that racial discrimination, and
Right.
I didn't want to stay there, because of that. Um, Botswana
Man-
was good because
Mandela,
everybody was. Uh,
Mandela, Mandela.
Mandela became the first black president from South
Right.
Africa. He was very good, man. Uh, yeah, so politically, Botswana at the time was good and very democratic. And because their culture, um, it's also quite to decide on something, he would call all his people to the court. They have this so-called tribal court, and he would ask them a question about something, and people would talk the whole day. They would talk, and the king and his advisors would just listen very patiently to the people. And in the afternoon, when everybody had spoken already, then there's a time that the elders of the tribe and the king will sit together and democratically make a decision about something for the tribe. So they're actually democratic in some way.
Very good to hear. And
So
I'm
that's as far as the Botswana political situation. And at the time, since they have a lot of money, many things were subsidized. Hospitals were free, government subsidized, and schools were free, and even children of foreigners were also free. They would go to school. We SVDs were managing a secondary school, a basic education, and college actually, uh, like what we have now until grade 12. Yeah. So they were even advances, compared to us in that sense.
in the K
And
to
after
12.
grade 12, then they could go to the university. That was the only time they could go to the university after grade 12. Mm.
Yes.
But
Uh,
then after grade 12, they were ready to work already. Yeah, that is still what we are trying to do here.
yes. Yes. We are quite late on that, but
Hmm.
it seems like you had a very good experience, missionary life, and your, like your accent is still there.
Yes,
Am
it
I
seems
correct?
it doesn't go.
Is
People are
the
wondering.
lasting, yes, the
Yeah,
lasting, the lasting legacy of your 25 years missionary work in Africa.
right.
Wow! So thank you very much for sharing. I know that like this has probably made a very good mark in your life, and really, like makes life in the Philippines, Cebu, Tacloban, and Bohol quite
Mm-hmm.
easy, huh?
Sorry.
It that experience in Africa makes your life in Cebu, missionary life in Cebu, Tacloban, and Bohol easy,
Oh yes, yes,
easier.
yes. True. No, it was adjustments when you go to a different place. And although here in the Philippines, everybody's Filipino, but then you still have to adjust to different people. And it became easy for me because I had to live with an international community in Africa, um, and to adjust to the culture, the African culture was not that easy at the beginning. I have to, and the food was not that difficult. It was and they would kind of collect caterpillars and they cook that. And I was able to eat them, so it wasn't difficult to adjust to that.
Okay. And uh what was the hardest part of the mission life?
Sorry,
What was the hardest part of missionary life in Africa?
what is that? I
What was
cannot
the
hear.
what was the most challenging life in
Ah,
the missionary
okay,
life?
right. The most challenging. Um, um, as I have said, adjusting to the African culture was not difficult for me, but one of the challenging things that I have experienced, challenging experience, was adjusting to other cultures. Like uh, in our community, that we had 7 nationalities. There were missionaries from SVDs from Poland, from Argentina, from Australia, from America, from US, and from Indonesia and Vietnam. of course, Africa and all that, and adjusting to these different peoples with also different family backgrounds was a big challenge for me. And especially when I became provincial, my goodness, um, it was then that my hairs started to fall out because of that, perhaps uh, facing those challenges, of personalities, different uh, family and cultural backgrounds, and therefore you also meet, uh, encounter different kinds of problems and real. But no, they were problems always have solutions. So, and that's one of the things that I have learned being provincial there, that in everything there's always, even if it's a problem, there's always a solution. Um, and sometimes the solution is just there under my nose or in front of my nose. And many times I would look for it somewhere else, but it's just here. And very simple solutions actually to problems. So that adjustment to different cultures. Um,
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm sure that uh, it has made you who you are right now. I know a lot of the SBDs through time that have chosen to be in the mission, going to different places. Many of the Boholanos are in the different missions and probably have also the same experiences as you do, probably easier, probably harder, but um, I know that you must have some advices for them.
oh,
Father.
okay. Yes, this is what from the beginning, I've always, wherever I go, I always say to myself, and now again, I have to learn to walk and speak like a child. I have to adjust to the way people think. Even here in Bohol, it's quite different um, from Southern Leyte, and um, so I have to adjust, adapt
Right.
some mentality, um, and that I have to think and speak like a little child again, and to walk like a little child, coming into a different culture and different people. Even though Boholanos are very near to the Liteños, southern Liteños, um, it's still quite different somehow. Even with the words, our vocabulary could be different, and so, but then always being a missionary, I have to do that, to have an open mind and open heart, and to try to learn from the people all the time.
That's a good simile. Learn like a child. In
Right,
the
right.
wow. So thank you very much. One of my like close duly ordained SVD priest is on his way to Japan, and so he has to learn the language and start anew. And
Hmm.
so I hope that uh, he will learn from you, and like be uh, like the child that your advice for him to learn from
Mhm.
the like start with the ABCs and so on and so forth. So thank you very much, Father. Now let's move on to talk about your current role and assignment in HNU. I believe there's three, Father. It's
Yeah.
on the alumni affairs, alumni relations, scholarships, and job placement. I like to deep dive into conversations about that. Which do you want to start first? Let's talk
Oh,
about what? Alumni relations?
alumni affairs. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I have actually, from that time when Father Dudes asked me to take the Alumni Affairs coordinatorship, oh, University of San Carlos, I was also there as the director of Alumni Affairs. But the difference is that you have here a alumni association that is a different entity, legal entity than the university. Whereas in San Carlos, the USC Alumni Association was in-house. So it was my office actually, or the University of San Carlos was the umbrella of all the alumni associations because there are engineering, doctors and nurses and pharmacists and whatever, but they have different, they have their own organizations, and they were under the umbrella of USC Alumni Association. Uh, HNU, is that HNU Alumni Association in Bohol? And so that's a different arrangement, and that's okay with me. And I like the work or the description of the work that Father Dudes has given me, coordinator. I'm supposed to be coordinating um, the activities, the plans uh, of the mission of HNU Alumni Association and the university. And immediately I thought, how can we, the Office of Alumni Affairs here in the university, you coordinate and collaborate? And so simply, that's what I would like to do. That's why I will have a meeting with with Mom Corrales next
Amene.
Tuesday because I wanted to know what are their plans because I would just have to adjust to those plans and coordinate and we collaborate with them and all that. And also that's connected with the alumni for me is connected with that they would I would ask them to help me uh, improve our scholarships, help our work. Um, so that's the three offices really connected to each other. And our alumni association has a great role in making this office of mine really work. And I cannot do alumni will help me 95%
Right.
possible in this office.
Yes.
Work with them, uh, coordinate and collaboration with them. So that is my plan, you know. And so in Tuesday, I have to listen to Mark Morales, and if there is another one also from the BOT to be with her, then I would just listen to what they would plan and see how we can, from my end, from my office, how we can collaborate with them. Okay.
And are, like intensifying membership or intensifying the alumni um, involvement in the HNU activities, probably.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Since we are, like
Should
things,
that will be part of, uh, and I think that is part of their plan too. They have their own plans, the alumni association, and so I just have to see that what they have in mind.
right.
Mm.
We have, we also have the uh, Alumni Nurses Association. Some of them are also members of the alumni, but there are different groups, like there is the, different graduates, different years, different batches. So, uh, like how they will be it will be interesting to see how they will be, like organized together as one whole, invite them. Because like I have my own Escalapians 1992, the fifth batch of the nursing batch. And then I belong to the whole world Alumni Nurses Association for all the batches. So there are many different groups, but there has to be a way to, it's that part of your office, probably to get them together.
Yeah. And yeah, actually, it's good that you mentioned that because I actually would like to discuss with the Alumni Association how we can improve the organizations of different uh, professions, and organize them into different organizations of alumni. And is that each association would, at the beginning, if they can sponsor one scholar, and that would be so many already.
That will be a good idea and a
Mm,
good, like giving back to
right.
HNU.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And we have this Jubilee next year. I believe that where the alumni can really play a very important role.
Mhm. Right. The Jubilee.
Yes, the Jubilee that will be celebrated next year. So
Mhm.
yes, that will be a good starting point, your meeting, and so
Right.
on.
That's why
Yes,
I hope that to discuss it with Ma'am Corrales when we come for a meeting.
yes, we're really looking forward to that Jubilee also, and how the alumni can be involved.
Mhm.
Uh, the scholarship program, Father, is that pretty much already, like programmed? How do we plan to also enhance the external scholarships aside from the alumni?
So it's going on already, and for the moment, I have Sister Bernard Bernadita here with me in the office. Um, she is the my staff in the scholarship, and so now like parents, employees asking for um, discounts for the children, and then there are graduates from other schools coming and asking for uh, how to call this academic
The
scholarships.
entrance, yes,
Yes,
the entrance
and so all
scholarship.
these things are coming, and that is why again also on Tuesday, was it on Tuesday or Thursday, Wednesday, I will meet the advisors or facilitators of different scholarship programs so that we can kind of talk about the situations if they have problems, if they have challenges in the or questions as to what can be done with this and that and all that. So we share as to what uh, efforts
Uh,
different scholarship programs. So my job as a coordinator to coordinate all this.
and
Uh,
we can also coordinate with that, because when we go to the different schools, always the question is, do you have any scholarship? So we give them the list of what we have, but
yeah.
we have to list down how many slots are
Mhm,
available for them.
mhm.
We used to
We
have like the sports, the athletic scholarships, the
right.
Diwana scholarships, the HNU Chorale, the HNU Band for the internal, and then for the external, we always would say everybody, DOST, we accept DOST, CHED, GSIS, all those scholarships, but
Mhm,
we don't really have an idea of how many of our students are in these enjoying these scholarships.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, we had already two meetings with Unifast for the and then the Busafi. They have two scholars with us, and it's good that slowly they are kind of coming. And I'm really hoping is that more and more people would come to the university and say, I would like to sponsor one
Yes,
scholar.
that will be the other important function of that office.
Uh-huh.
Probably one alumni will sponsor one, adapt like a student program.
Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really praying for that.
I remember my the ones my classmates, or when we were, I worked for a while abroad, and it's always like there's a tax write off,
Mm-hmm.
like that when you have a when you sponsor, when you donate, or when you have a scholarship program, there's a form that you fill up, and it's a tax write off, how much you give and so on. So probably that's something that we can also look into.
Right, right. So
to
that's
in Yes, to
one of the things I
encourage
would like to
more,
do.
to
Uh-huh.
encourage more of them, like uh going into that, sponsoring
Right.
or scholarships, because then they can write it off from their taxes,
Mm.
and giving back.
Yes, and that's why would like to encourage the association, the alumni association, reaching you. I hope they have a really good website where people could, alumni could, how do you call that, register online and to have more information about scholarships, about job placement, that we have this and that graduate, because we have graduates who have been in the top, and so we need to advertise them in their website, the alumni, and what the alumni associations in the different parts of the world are doing. I would like that to be in their website. I will suggest it to them, to improve that.
There was a move to have a, like the www.hnu.edu.ph. There's a link there to the alumni page also. So hopefully that will come in place, so that it's a link to our website. It will be
Mm-hmm,
good to
mm-hmm,
have an inventory, and I'd like to really see that, like how many are availing of these, and how many slots are available, so that when we also go to the different schools to campaign for enrollment, we can, like there's a match, uh
right, right.
to
Uh-huh.
like you have this skill, then you probably can avail and put on all the requirements, in terms of grades, in terms of even the economic, the like the income of the parents.
Yeah.
Father, job placement, what is our plan on that?
Job placement. Um, the the alumni association was also quite committed to that, to help in the job placement of our graduates, and that is why also our website is important. um, and I have received already from asking for our graduates, and hopefully by giving them at least the names of these graduates, that they would be able to work. Um, um, Now that it's pandemic, I'm not able to imagine as to how we can facilitate, especially working abroad. When I was in USC in Cebu, it was so easy because the universities from other countries would come to the university and ask for our graduates, especially nurses. And so it was so easy. But now with the pandemic, I'm not so sure how people would come to us. But still, we can advertise and really make people uh, become aware that we have these graduates and that they're just waiting for job offerings, wherever they can work, and then even though some of our graduates may be nurses, but probably they are willing to work as, how do you call that, operators in how do you call this,
Voice, voice,
call centers,
yes.
call centers and all that. Uh, that's what my niece. She used to work at the travel agency. Now the travel agency is closed, so she had to apply in a call center, and she's okay, but
The BPOs, the
yes, yeah.
business process outsourcing, the
hmm
contact centers, because it could be
hmm
voice, it could
Well,
be
one of the groups that had helped me in Cebu, in the University of Carlos, was the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, and hopefully, because there were many members of the Chamber of Commerce that were
alumni.
graduates of the university. Yeah, and I hope so too that here I can kind of connect with them and see how they can help us with job placements.
Yes.
And of course, our own alumni can help. Have friends who've got big businesses somewhere or here in the Philippines, so they can uh, kind of ask for information from us if we have graduates to recommend to them. And I would be much willing to do that. Very, very willing to provide them information as to our graduates that they can be helped in getting jobs.
Right. Wow, very good. Sounds like the whole school year is cut out for you. It's already programmed. So very excited to see that come along and see and place. I I would like to promise you that my office will also work closely with you if you have anything to publish or post. We have our followers and likes in our Facebook page is already high, so that it's easy to spread across information that you would like us uh, to inform the alumni, our graduates who needs the job and the scholarship. So let me know what and my office can do for you. So, Father, the time is 2:52. That's how fast the
Yes,
time is.
yes. Okay.
And are there some things
Oh, it's
that
almost an hour
I
now. Yes.
know? Are there some things that we have probably missed? Did I miss anything? Or did you have are there other things that you would like to mention or inform our audience, our stakeholders, our parents?
Yeah.
Your,
Well, I think there's nothing anymore. I think we have covered a lot already. And
your office is
well,
where is
now,
your office
at the
now,
begin,
Father? Where is your office so that parents or students
the
can
former
go?
student affairs office.
Which is room
So that's
20, I can't remember, but it's on the in the second floor. Am I correct?
second floor.
Right.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
so if there are
Second floor.
parents,
That's where I am now.
that are or students that have questions or are want to avail of scholarships, we can just direct them to go to the office.
Yes, yeah, sure. We
Good.
have most often we have two working scholars who would entertain them, and sister is there from Monday to Friday who is helping in facilitating their whatever they need.
And then they can also email uh, scholarships. Am I correct? They can also email scholarships at
Mm-hmm.
hnu.edu.ph. Is that correct?
scholars, and there are those who are other scholars also.
Okay.
So there are many who are coming now, and they know the place already.
Okay.
So, but people need to be directed to that place.
Right. Right.
Mm.
But they can also, if they call, they can also just call the trunk line. It's 411. I forgot the number now. uh, and then just have asked to be connected to the scholarships office. Father?
Right, right.
Okay. So at this
Okay.
point, I would like to ask you for your closing statements before we close. Your closing statements, Father. Closing message, rather.
Um, well, finally, I'd just like to say thank you for this interview. Um, and well, thank you for airing my songs, my performance in the ABAG. One of my friends in the US, she said, I know that you're in Bohol already because I saw you in ABAG.
Performing.
Thank you
Yes.
for that.
Yes. Okay. It's just a good introduction for people to get to know you better. Okay. So that with that,
Okay, so is that
yes, yes, Father. Thank you very much. With that, we close, and I want to thank Father Pat here, who has been very gracious to allow himself to be interviewed about his life, his missionary life. May it be inspiration to the young people who would like to join the SVDs and the missionary work that they do, and that we have given you enough and all the information about the alumni affairs, scholarships, and job placement of Holy Name University. Thank you very much. This has been Vera Villucido, the Marketing and Advertising Officer of Holy Name University, saying good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the Friday afternoon. Have a nice long weekend. And thank you very much. This is live on Facebook. This will also be uploaded in our HNU YouTube channel, and the audio files uploaded or aired on BYJR 106.5 FM. Thank you very much. And I would like to just play the marketing video so that we can close. Okay, hold on, Father. I think I accidentally didn't have that.
okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Father.